This week on the ZTV Sports Report,
we highlight the men's basketball game against Bowling Green.
We sit down with women's basketball coach Jody Kess as their team is riding an 11-game winning streak.
We go inside the rec center and get an inside look at group exercise.
All that and more on this edition of ZTV Sports Report, which starts right now. We are halfway through the semester, but we still have much to cover on Akron athletics.
That's right, and whether it rains or snows, we are still here to deliver to you the latest on the Akron Zips.
The growing number of injuries on the field and on the court have been concerning, but new technology is always on the horizon. Our very own Sartaj Ojala was able to give us an in-depth look at the rise of medical technology.
In the sports world, I think technology really has helped with what's called performance enhancement. And so as athletes try to get better and better, they're using more technology to try to accomplish that. Number two, from our standpoint, is in injury prevention. And number three is in injury management. And I think all three of those areas have been impacted greatly in the last 5 to 10 years with medical technology. There's constantly new research going on and new things we learn. There's all sorts of challenges related to medicine, and that's what makes it really kind of challenging and also very interesting.
With many injuries in sports rising in number, many advances in medical technology are coming to combat those injuries.
One example at Virginia Tech Wake Forest University is that they actually have a sensor system they are putting in the helmets, and they can actually see the level of G-forces that the players are sustaining. And there are certain levels that if it's over that, you have a very great probability you have a concussion.
Advances have also been made in trying to analyze injuries before they happen.
In the area of musculoskeletal injuries, some of the newer virtual reality pieces that you can actually kind of have a pre-test on people to see what their performance assessment, so to speak, would be, and then after they're injured, kind of see where they're at. These virtual reality technologies, these performance tests, may help us do more objective testing.
The medical technology world has made progress in battling injuries, and more advances seem to be on the horizon.
As long as we have science to help us understand what is actually happening, what's the physics behind these injuries, and then the engineers and scientists can work on solutions to these problems.
Medical technology in the last 5 to 10 years has really even quickened its pace even faster. And I think medical technology is really jumping into the fore, trying to help us answer some of the questions that we have. And as we learn, I think it's going to help us make the game safer and safer.
For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Sartaj Ojala.
The numbers are certainly alarming.
But technology looks to be advancing in time before the injuries become very serious. Our own track and field team is nearing the end of their season, but their strength and determination stays consistently strong. We sit down to Alex McCune to find out about their success.
Hello everyone, I'm Elliot Georgiadis, and joining me today from the Akron track team is Alex McCune. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Elliot. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Very flattered.
You know, you are obviously a member of the track team here at Akron, so I think all our students would like to get to know you a little bit better. So why don't we just start off by telling me where you're from and where you went to high school?
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is a shock for most Cleveland people because
Right.
of the whole Steeler thing, but they get over it. And I went to high school at North Hill Senior High School.
Okay, very cool. Now, when you were a senior, made you choose to come to Akron? Were you looking at other schools?
You know, it's a very interesting story, and it's weird because I was not very good in high school, athletically-wise, and so I was unrecruitable. And I didn't have very many options, and so after a couple of long weeks of emailing coaches here at the university, they finally responded and let me, try my spot on the team. So
Wow.
very fortunate for that.
So did you have to then work your way onto the team? You weren't given a spot automatically?
Yeah. It was definitely a process where they, had more control than I did, and I had to prove myself worthy to be on the team. So.
Right. And how many years have you been a member of the track team?
I'm a junior, so this is my third year.
Okay,
so
very cool.
Third competition year.
Wow. So then what is it that you do on the track team? What event do you participate in?
I'm a decathlete, or a multi, as some people like to say it. So.
That's a pretty intense person to be on the track team. Why don't you explain to everyone a little bit what it is that you do in competitions?
So, believe it or not, it's not swimming, biking, and running,
Right.
Which is what I get most of the times when I say that. But it's a 2-day event combining, strength, speed, throwing, jumping, every single thing. So you do 5 events each day for 2
Wow.
straight days. And would you like me to run over the events?
Sure, I would love
can
to
do it
hear.
fast.
I'm unfamiliar with it, so I would love to hear what it is that you have to do every day.
Perfect. Yeah. So the events are in order are the 100-meter dash, long jump, shot put, high jump, 400-meter dash, and then that day's over. You wake up the next morning.
That's it in one day?
In one day.
Oh, that's
Day
it.
one.
That's
No,
not a
it.
big
No,
deal
you feel,
or anything.
You feel great.
Right.
And then the second day is the 110-meter hurdles, followed by discus, pole vault, javelin, and the metric mile.
So it's basically a test to see how much of a Superman you really are.
Some people say that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure that is exhausting on your body. How do you stay in such great shape and maintain your energy level to get through all of that?
You know, that's the part of balancing it. You really have to get a couple under your belt to know what it's like. And it's a complete exhaustion, physical and mental, because you have to think about so much and you have to perform at such a level that it gets really difficult on your body. And you know, it's just something that we learn and you try to emulate in practice and simulate in practice by putting ourselves in those uncomfortable positions, because that's the only way you're ever going to get better at them.
Right.
You know, what the best thing is my best friends are also decathletes.
Coming off of being the outdoor champs from last season, I'm sure you guys are looking to see that carry over into your tournament this weekend and get that indoor title back.
Yeah, exactly. We were stripped of it last year indoors, so that's still bitter in our hearts, and we definitely want to go take it back from them. So we're going to work as hard as we can to get it back.
Well, thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck tomorrow. That's all the time we have, unfortunately, today, so we're going to take it back to Rachel and Sartaj in the studio.
Thank you.
Our men's basketball team is coming to 3 key games that will determine their MAC tournament seed.
They start off this stretch by facing Bowling Green, and the Falcons were looking to spoil the Zips' hopes.
Our Zips ran onto the court, and in the middle of the first half, Pat Forsyth dunked a buzzer beater to get the Zips offense going.
Demetrius Treadwell would make his presence known early on with a jumper over a defender as the half ended 20-18 in the Zips' favor.
In the second half, Forsyth remained active as he cleaned up a missed jumper and converted it into points.
Treadwell would slice through the defense, and the layup would put him over 1,000 points in his Akron Zips career.
With the crowd feeling Akron's energy, Quincy Diggs capped off the game with this quick layup to bring the final score 57-47.
Demetrius Treadwell scored 17 points in a highlighted day for him in his Akron Zips career that put him over 1,000 points.
Quincy Diggs scored 13 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and recorded 2 steals in the contest.
Our Lady Zips were on a 10-game win streak. Can they continue at 2-11 when they faced Miami of Ohio? Right from the get-go, our Lady Zips stormed onto the court and took control as they cruised to 48 points in the first half.
Miami of Ohio was held to only 29 points in the first and never stole Akron's momentum.
Akron continued to stamp their appearance as the Red Hawks could not stop their drive to build on to their winning streak.
The final score was Akron 88-63.
Hannah Luberg finished up with 28 points, and Rachel Tecca finished it off with 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals. The swimming and diving team brought home the gold in the MAC championship.
The team has worked really hard, and their hard work has paid off in bringing home their first ever championship in program history.
New head coach Brian Peresi has certainly impacted the team in just under a year after being hired. His team has risen to the top and achieved a goal for the first time in the history of the program.
The MAC championship will certainly give the team what they need to build the program even stronger.
That's one segment down, but we still have 2 more to go.
That's right. When we come back, we have another edition of Quick Zip.
And we get in shape and take a look at group exercising at the rec center.
All that and more on ZTV Sports Report. We will be right back.